This is KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications. This is KHQA. It's your news now.
And this is Saturday, February 25th, and you have indeed entered Overtime, brought to you by the fine people at Con Communications. You know, true greatness is that most fleeting of qualities in sports, especially in an age when every anonymous Joe or Josephine with a computer link and internet access can blog out a contrarian opinion into cyberspace without fact or cause to defend. Kind of makes you wonder what slings and arrows the 27 Yankees, the 1979 Steelers, or Michael Jordan even in his heyday would have taken from the haters, quote unquote, had such conditions existed back in the day. It seems that the critical eye has grown ever more so critical, dare I say even cynical, even as it comes to high school sports. We've seen the criticism leveled this week at Quincy Notre Dame. Should they move up in class? Was it too easy? Just enjoy the ride. And Quincy Notre Dame got it done in historic fashion tonight, going back-to-back with state championships, beating Bree Central just as easily as they've beaten everybody else this season. 62-31 is your final. Defense was the key yet again for Eric Orn's team, as the Lady Raiders would limit Breeze to just 24% shooting from the field. Long arms, size, everything that Quincy Notre Dame does so well played big and paid big dividends tonight as the Lady Raiders get the huge win. Jordan Frericks leading the way tonight with 18 points, 5 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 2 steals to go along with it. So just a great night for the Lady Raiders. Our Ross Green is on the floor as we speak, putting together a rather unique special on the Lady Raiders for you coming up tomorrow night. That will take place at about 10:20. Your complete wrap-up from all the day's action with Q&D should be an awful lot of fun. And again, as I mentioned, we've got a big pep rally coming up for Quincy Notre Dame as well. That will take place as we cycle the graphics for you coming up here. That will take place on Monday at 1:45 at the Pit. We advise all of you, whether you're a Quincy Notre Dame fan or not, to go out and recognize these fine young ladies for the outstanding, not only way they represent this community in this town playing basketball, but I know many of them are 3.5 or better students, great young ladies to deal with, great personalities. Go out, show your support, take a little time. If nothing else, head on out to the streets about 1 o'clock because I believe they'll be having the fire truck ride all through town. It'll go past all of the parochial schools in town. So go out and wave at these young ladies and tell them just how much of what you think, again, of the task they've accomplished. And again, Ross Green will have all of the day's fun wrapped up for you neatly tomorrow night at 10:20. Looking forward to that. Again, what a great weekend. Congratulations to Eric Orn and the gals. They have certainly done this community awfully, awfully proud. Well, while we can now close the book in the Lady Raiders season, Quincy Notre Dame isn't the only area girls team seeking back-to-back titles this winter. The Marion County Lady Mustangs opened their 7-game quest for history with a district quarterfinal against 8th-seeded Higbee, or more precisely, maybe the biggest mismatch we may see at any level in area high school basketball this season. You had to feel a little bad for Higbee, the 8th seed coming in, not a lot of talent, not a lot of size. But look at this. This would defy explanation. In Vegas, Higbee scores first, 2-0. And then things got real for the poor Lady Tigers. And this one started with Kaylin Spratt's long 3 right here. The upset alert quickly quelled in this one. More to come from Randy Lee Plunkett as RLP is going to up the RPMs right here. Transition bucket for her off the glass. And my friends, we are in the midst of a monster run. Jessica Redd, the future Truman State Bulldog, the textbook stuff from her on the turnaround back down. With a great steal right here from Kim Shuck, falling down. Somehow kicks it out to Sadie Pollard, who had a really nice game today off the bench. Nice to see the bench broadening for Mike Johnson's crew. More to come in this one. Kaylin Spratt, this time on the run out, wide open. Our girl Devin Johnson kicking it out to her. She couldn't be more wide open. All of this unanswered. Every one of these buckets unanswered by Marion County, and we're going to go a long way in this one. Great kick out right there from Rochelle Sharp. Snappy pass to the aforementioned Miss Pollard, who just continued to up the pressure in this one. How about Jessica Redd playing the cleaner right here as she tidies up the mess on the down low, throws that bucket off the glass. Everybody getting into the act in this monster run. Destiny Johnson realizing her destiny with the 3-point play. Oh, but Marion County still isn't done compiling. By the time this was said and done, and Kaylin Spratt had a big hand in it, a 42-0 run for Marion County. That, my friends, pretty much ends that. Marion County, a winner in its first round game, now just 6 wins away from a repeat state championship as they win 80-22. Give Higbee credit, they scored some points in the 4th quarter, so good for them. Again, that came against the back end, though, of Marion County's bench. Up next for Marion County, the winner of today's North Shelby-Madison game. Tell you what, give Madison some credit. Great start on the first possession as Stacy Harlow steals the show. For not long, though. The Lady Raiders smother the life right out of Madison. Elizabeth Lindbergh doing great work today here from Ashley Bixel off the hustle. She feeds Miss Liz, and Liz is going to go to work right here. Coming alive from mid-range. She would outscore Madison of her own accord 10-2 out of the gate in this one. I'll tell you what, this girl can play. Getting the nice seal right there. Again, Elizabeth doing work in the blocks, in the paint, making her presence felt. Great start for her. Great game for her, in fact. And she'd end up the day with a double-double, 24 points as well. She can also pass out of the low post. Great little swing pass right here to the aforementioned Ashley Bixel, who knocks that down. You know what? North Shelby looked really good today. Congratulations to the Lady Raiders, Rachel Echternock and company, getting the big win today, as you see Rachel with the 3. Final count in this one's 54-42. Up next for them, a showdown again with Marion County. I believe that game is coming up on the 28th. Other scores from Missouri as districts get underway today. A minor upset of sorts to report to you as Ellsbury beats Mark Twain 45-42. Brittany Hagermeyer, who's an outstanding softball player, not a bad basketball player in her own right, using her size to impose Ellsbury's will on Mark Twain today, ending the Lady Tiger season 45-42. On the boys' side, earning a shot at the #1 team in the district, well, that would be Ellsbury. Bowling Green gets the win over Monroe City, 49-39, your final there. Corey Brown leading the charge for the Bobcats in that game with 16 points. Last night, didn't get a chance to show you the Hannibal Pirates taking on Mexico. We do now. Jay Jones and company in an early hole as the threes were flowing for the Bulldogs. Mike Shivers, though, trying to get his team back with the teardrop. How about some Dalton Powell? He was going to answer the three-point barrage with a 3 of his own. Then it's Shivers again, who played really well on this court all week long. I tell you what, this kid's played well for the better part of the season, but really well over the last month, knocking down a triple there. The Pirates closed the gap to 16-8 at that point. Jay Jones with the miss. Jay Jones had a big night with 15 points, but Bubba Williams is there to clean up. Unfortunately, every time Hannibal seemed to get something going offensively, Mexico would answer with more threes. Austin Reed was a fire in this game, especially in that first quarter, as Hannibal couldn't check him. Anywhere he went to the top of the arc, from top center to the corner pockets, he was just brilliant. And when he wasn't good, Jake Willard was good as well. 5 threes from those two Pirates in the first quarter, and that was pretty much Hannibal's undoing. Hannibal would get back to within 3 down the stretch, actually as close as 1 in the fourth quarter, but could never quite get over the hump as Mexico leads wire to wire and ends Hannibal's wonderful season. 54-51 was your final, but great job to Matt Pugh, who has really turned that program around. District titles and much more in the near future for the Pirates, based on the great job that Mr. Pugh has done over the past 4 years. Well, as luck would have it last night, we didn't get a chance to show you what might have been the most exciting and perhaps historically relevant regional championship of our fantastic Friday. That took place at the Nest in Mount Sterling, where the Unity Mustangs were seeking their first regional boys championship since 1990 in that most hostile of climates, the Nest, where Brown County basketball fans are legendary for their intensity, and they would show it last night. Keith Carruthers' team, though, speaking of intensity, plays great defense. They've also got a guy who creates. Love what Matt Dusterhouse has done this season. Do not sleep on that kid as a player of the year. Great 2 for him. Justin Volk, the Volkswagen, though, answering at the other end, leaving right there off the great pass from Austin Gooding. Then Volk caught fire in this one. 3 from way back. Brown County kind of feeling it at this point. Oh, I tell you what, Volk doing it yet again. This time it'll be Clayton Taylor playing the setup man in this one. You can't not check Volk. Oh, look at the great pass, though, he makes to Clayton Taylor at the other end, too. Great stuff there. Reed Benzinger had himself a night. Great defensive player. Kind of a Stacey Ogman energy type, but he was getting it going right there with the 2. He had 12 points in the night. Volk from the baseline right here, making things happen. To make a long story short, we take you to the end of this game tied up. 47 apiece in the final seconds. Brett Jackson going to break the tie with a free throw. His second free throw misses, but the Hornets can't make anything happen with their last possession. And guess what, kids? Those crazed, happy-go-lucky fans in Mendon have something truly to cheer about. For the first time in 12 years, they, the Unity Mustangs, are your regional champions. As I said, great scene. Look at Reed Benzinger. I haven't seen him that happy since he had a half-court shot at the KHQA Subway Superfan Shootout and won $100. That kid can do it. Unity gets the win last night. Good for them, 48-47. Big challenge, though, coming up in Lewiston for the Unity Mustangs on Tuesday of this week. But congratulations to Keith Carruthers. What a great job he's done. And speaking of guys you should be talking about for Coach of the Year, there's a name that should be coming up on that list. We'll talk more about Unity coming up a little later this week. Nice to see some of these teams rising like Unity and Liberty as they have the last couple of years. And when we come back, we dissect the college docket for today, including a look ahead to Quincy University's last-ditch effort tomorrow to salvage its NCAA tournament hopes.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar, brought to you by Con Communications.
And welcome back to Overtime, everybody. You know, I make no secret of it. I'm a football guy first and foremost, but with the last couple of weeks we've had with wrestling and basketball, how do you not love this time of year? Just fantastic stuff. Well, there's no escaping the fact that Thursday's loss to Illinois Springfield did considerable damage to Quincy University's NCAA tournament hopes. As it was, the Hawks were planted firmly on the regional bubble coming into the week, but like any good student knows, when it comes to your final grade, sometimes a whole lot of previous missteps can be magically wiped away with a great, perhaps perfect final exam. And for the Hawks, their one and only out may be acing the GLVC tournament starting tomorrow. Make no mistake, the cramming for said test, has been extensive.
I think 3 solid wins in the conference tournament, so we'd have to make it to the championship game, and we might as well win it if we're there.
There's a mathematical piece to it. There's about 8 or 9 different categories, of which is, you know, your in-region record, your strength of schedule, your Division II overall record. So there's many things. So obviously, the more wins, the better our resume gets. But I think it's too hard to determine what we need to do, because a lot of it is also determined by what the other teams in the region do. So I think it's hard to put a number on it. I just think we got to take it one step at a time. Try to win as many games as we can, if not the whole tournament, with that goal in mind, and the chips fall within it.
Given their now tenuous position in regard to the NCAA regional rankings, the Hawks are equal parts pragmatic and optimistic about this last final exam that is the GLVC tournament. And if nothing else, whatever the vagaries of the NCAA selection process may be, there is something freeing in controlling your own destiny.
The biggest thing about it is that we just got to believe we do control our own destiny. It's either win or we go home, so we really have to win these games.
I think we just have to take things, you know, as a step-by-step process. And the first step is playing Drury tomorrow and trying to find a way to have success there and advancing in our conference tournament. Further we advance in our conference tournament, that will take care of the NCAA stuff. So I don't think you can focus on the second piece until you focus on the first piece, which is trying to go as far as we can and making a run in the conference tournament. You know, we've never won the conference tournament, so it's obviously a great opportunity, a great challenge, and we're going to try to do the best we can to make the most of that opportunity.
And step one is clearly no gimme. The Hawks split a pair of 7-point decisions over the course of the season with opening round opponent Drury.
One thing, we know they're a beatable team. I mean, we beat them at home and they beat us at their place, so we just got to come in a game knowing that they're a beatable team, approach it with confidence, and you know, we played really well at home, so we just got to play how we've been playing.
We are kind of like them. We play kind of like them. It's just going to be a great game. Thursday night was rough after the game. I mean, we had some guys down, whatever, no big deal. Yesterday at practice, though, we really bounced back, had a great practice. So I think that shows great resiliency for our team.
Well, before bolting town for Lady Raider Heaven in Bloomington, our man Ross Green stopped by and checked in with John Wood, taking on ICC today. And Reagan Bringer, oh, look at the spin move there. Your washing machine doesn't even do that. That's good stuff from Bringer. Had himself a pretty good day. At the other end in this one, how about Corinthian Carson, my favorite name of the year, Rich Corinthian Layup. Oh, somewhere Ricardo Montalban would be so pleased with me. Reagan Bringer again, great take for him on the inside. And how about some Antonio Landers? You know what, the Blazer that basically took care of business today. ICC powerless to stop the John Wood offense. The big story in this one, Darius Porter today with 23 points, 17 rebounds. That kid's is a double-double and a good one as the Blazers get the big win 73-60. Speaking of big wins, how about Western Illinois improving to 9-9 in Summit League play as the Leathernecks get a double-double of their own from Terrell Parks. What a great acquisition he has been for Jim Molinari. Western Illinois wins on the road at North Dakota State, 77-64 was your final there. The Culver Stockton Wildcats, their season is done as they lose to Mid-America Nazarene at home today in the season finale. The Wildcats will finish this year 4-24 on the season, the first season for Jack Schrader. Also, we've got HLG losing to Park today, 65-56. Of note there, the AMC tournament starts Thursday for the Trojans. They will travel to Harris Stowe for that one as well. Culver Stockton trying to play its way into the HAC conference tournament. You know what? Great first half for the Cats as Anissa Stark right there, Anissa Stark, I should say, gives her team a 5-point lead at the half, 34-29. Second half, it's Miss Stark again. House Stark getting it done, beating the shot clock there. Then Rachel Larson, she had just 5 points in the day, 1 3, and this that could have been a 3, but just a long 2 at that point. More of Miss Starks to come because winter is coming. Tough take for her right here. She had 26 points on the day. Good stuff for her.
Culver Stockton still attacking, although they find themselves down as they give up 38 second-half points. Tremessa May had some nice buckets in this one. That's Emily Lay, though, the pride of Canton, with a great take there. Here comes Miss May, turning around, backing people down. She is very strong in the low blocks. Jessie Logsdon, very strong everywhere for Culver Stockton, as she was at Canton as well. She had 17 points in the day, but as I mentioned, Culver Stockton defensively elapsed in the second half, giving up 38 points, scoring just 23. That was their undoing as they lose at the final count in this one of 67-57. However, based on backing in just a little bit, Culver Stockton is back in the HAC tournament for the first time in 5 years, I think since 2006, 2007. We don't know yet the pairings, but we do know that Culver Stockton is in. We'll try to update you with those coming up tomorrow or on the web tonight. Other women's basketball, Western Illinois falls to 7-10 in league play, despite the heroics of Valencia Kelly. Unfortunately for Western Illinois, she was the only Leatherneck in double figures there today. Lewis and Clark hands John Wood a heartbreaker at home, 65-60 in overtime. Dawn March, the pride of Camp Point Central, with 20 points there in a losing cause. We've got Southeastern Community College winning yet again over DMAC, 78-53, and the HLG women winners over Park, which is probably a good thing because coming up on Wednesday in the first round of the AMC tournament, those two teams will meet again. So kind of a rematch thing going on starting next week. What transpired kind of quietly over the last couple of weeks, but Jim Slager is back in charge of the John Wood softball program after a 3-year hiatus, and history suggests that is a very good thing for the future of the Trailblazers. Slager spent a decade between 1999 and 2009 turning John Wood into a formidable Diamond force, and he did so largely through astute local recruiting. That process started again today with the signing of 7 new Trailblazers and at least 1 more coming next week. Priority number 1 is pitching, and that process headlines our signings today, with the Blazers adding 3 quality arms to the stable: Clopton's Ashley Holliker, Central's Tori Thomas next week, and Highland All-Stater Julie Schultz.
Pitching, obviously we're running softball, and we needed to build quite a bit of strength right there. We don't have a great deal of depth right now. We're only going to have 1 freshman coming back, and we needed that to build on.
Oh yeah, you definitely hear nothing but good things about Clopton and Atlanta West girls, and so I'm really excited about upcoming season in college, getting in a bunch of great group of girls with definitely a lot of talent, put it together on a softball team. Hopefully we can do well.
They've all been from winning programs and good ASA programs, play a lot of ball, they're used to it. I think the experience will be a real big key right here, and it'll only help us along in that tough conference that we play in.
I'm very exciting. I'm ready for something new, and we should be good this year.
Coach Slager is great. He makes me feel really welcome. He's pretty laid back and easygoing, and so I'm not too scared of him yet, but practice hasn't started.
Yeah, I think we're really excited about bringing in a diverse class. We've got a little bit of power, a little bit of speed. We've got some depth. We've got some pitching coming in, and try to just move the program forward and keep it moving.
Out on Ashley Holliker, really, you saw her there with a home run, got a lot of power, pretty good pitcher, could do a lot of things. That's a name to look out for. A couple of other names that or faces you may have recognized in there. Highlands Nicole Kraft also coming over to play some infield for John Wood starting next year, and Emily Shoemaker, who you may not be familiar with, but she was a big part of those great Virginia teams the last couple of years. She's now at Triopia for her first season, so look out for her as well. Power hitter, should be another fine addition to that program. We've got some scores to pass along today from the Diamond. Believe it or not, it was warm enough someplace to play some games. Western Illinois with a nice win today on the road at Alabama A&M. Dustin Hunter, a career best 12 strikeouts in that game for the Leathernecks. Culver Stockton with a split today. I point out game number 1 only because in that game, Sabe Sears, the pride of Scotland County, with the only RBI single of the day for his team. So good stuff there as Culver Stockton loses the first game 2-1, but bounces back to beat William Woods by the final count of 5-1 there. Also, Hannibal LaGrange today, a couple of losses, but Ian Sykes was very big in both of them. Had a home run in the first game and went 2 for 3 in the second game with a double and a couple of runs there. Coming up tomorrow, a very busy day here at KHQA Sports, an unusually busy Sunday. But when you win state championships, those kind of things happen, and that's the way we like it. Hopefully many, many more of those in the weeks to come. We've got our big Quincy Notre Dame wrap-up special coming your way tomorrow night at 10:20. As well tomorrow, we'll have highlights of the big showdown between Drury and Quincy University. That takes place, for those of you who don't know, at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Head on out and support the Hawks. They're going to need the home court advantage as you heard Justin Brock say, they probably need as many as 3 wins to kind of secure their way back into the NCAA regionals for this year to come ahead. And as well, tomorrow night, we'll have highlights of the Quincy Spartans as they open their pro football season coming up tomorrow at Flynn Stadium for the first time. So that should be an awful lot of fun as well. All of those highlights coming up right here with my man Ross Green tomorrow. Again, thanks for joining us on Overtime. Coming up next week, we will be wrapping up and previewing Super Sectionals, hopefully many of them for you, as we've got sectional basketball all week long. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Again, our sincerest and fondest congratulations to the Quincy Notre Dame Lady Raiders. Let's hope this is not the only state basketball championship of the run, but this is a pretty special one for everybody involved, and especially for Eric Orn, who is a class act in every way, shape, and form. So congratulations, Raiders. Again, the wrap-up tomorrow, and we'll see you right back here for Overtime next week at 10:30.